And it is discouraging when you get on a call with those people and they don't book. It happens. Not a lot worse than that. The thing that's worse than that is when they book and they don't show up and they don't tell me anything.
Wow.
And
all right, we are live. So welcome back to the Booked and Brilliant podcast once again. This is the go-to space for gifted women ready to stop hustling for scraps and start building soul-aligned success on their terms. Yeah. So if you are a spiritually driven entrepreneur, as a lady, as a woman, maybe you read charts, you coach through energy, or like in today's case, guide people using the stars and their soul's map, this episode is definitely for you, because to be honest, being gifted, right, doesn't automatically mean being booked. Being wise doesn't always mean being well paid. And having an impact, right, doesn't mean you are seen or like you have the income, like you can reflect the income you deserve. Today, we are unpacking what really keeps brilliant women like astrocartographers, I'm new to that, astrocartographers, healers, and soul coaches undercharging, underbooked, and on the scene. And more importantly, how to break that cycle. And today, I have an amazing astrocartographer with me. Her name is Isabel Guerrera. In fact, I'm so in awe. I'm so happy to have you on this podcast this moment. How are you, Izzy?
hi, thank you for having me here as well. I'm doing well. Hi, everyone. I'm Isabel. You can call
And
me
how has work been today? Like, how is everything? How's it going?
Pretty busy. Earlier this morning, I met up with a friend who also works remotely. She actually works for NASA in the United States, and we were kind of co-working together at her apartment because she's got a nice space with a lot of room near the center of the city that we live in. So I was just preparing an astrocartography reading for a client of mine who I'm going to be seeing virtually tomorrow. So that's what, and then I had lunch. That's been my day. And now I'm here with you on your podcast.
So good to have you on this podcast. Now, this is a no pressure space, and my job is, it's basically to understand exactly what you're doing, for everyone out there to understand exactly what you're doing, and also help you see what's standing in your way. And at the end, if it feels aligned, I'll share what working together could look like. So how does that sound?
Yes, perfect.
All right. So let's start with your big vision. Before we go into your vision, let's have an idea of what astrocartography means. For me, like, I know it's astrology, but I think it's a different dimension of astrology. The astrology that I know is, I think it's the surface level of astrology. Yeah, it's something I actually been wanting to know more about. So tell us more about what you're doing, and let's know more.
Yeah, so astrocartography is basically like a sub-discipline of astrology. Say it's like a type of astrology. So let's say think of it like a subject. Like there's history, right? There's like world history, then there's history of different countries, right? So I think of astrology as the general study, and then astrocartography is a branch of astrology that studies how the stars and our birth charts impact our experiences in different locations around the world. And so this sub-discipline of astrology was developed in the 70s in the United States by a man named Jim Lewis, who theorized that our birth charts actually can relocate, that our birth charts relocate with every city we go into, that we relocate to. So the idea is that the energies, the vibes, and types of experiences that we have vary based on location. And so does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense. So location actually plays a part with whatever we experience, whatever we get, right? So it's not, I thought it was just something about birth charts, date of births, and some other things like, what's it called? What's it called now? Zodiac signs and all that.
It's related to that, but it's using that whole study of astrology, but in the context of location. In the context of like deciding where to live, where to travel to, where to relocate to, where to open a business, where's the most suitable place to open a business, where's the most suitable place to find love, where's the most suitable place to build community. Because, you know, we've all experienced it. Like, we may be born in one country or one city, but we may not feel so at home there, and then we go somewhere else and we feel a totally different vibe, a totally different energy. And I find that it's definitely been true for me. It's been very accurate for me and for my clients as well. Like, they, you know, may not feel super great where they are living, but then they say, you know, they ended up relocating somewhere else, and the energies were so much more favorable for them. And so it really is kind of an explanation why, like the why behind the fact that we tend to feel different in different places around the world. And I don't know about you, I don't know what your experience has been like, but like if you've relocated from one country to another, you could probably say like, wow, my experience in X country, it was so different from
true that.
Country A was super different from country B, you know, and country C. Even within a country, even one city to another, the charts shift, the energies, the planetary lines, all of it changes. It can change.
Wow. I mean, this is new to me. I'm also learning. It's
like a world of its own. It's definitely like a world of its own for sure.
Wow, this is really amazing. And I see this as something that has not really been tapped. Like, it's not common. A lot of people don't know about this, really.
I think it's starting with TikTok and all of that. It's starting to get more popular, but it's definitely not as widespread as like general astrology. Like, definitely not as widespread, but I think it's gaining ground. I think it's in the last 2-3 years, it's been becoming more and more popular. I'm hearing more and more people recognize what I'm talking about. Whereas a couple years ago, it was different. It was like people were like, what on earth is that? And so I think it is, but I guess it depends where in the world you are. Like maybe in some countries, like I know in United States and the UK, people tend to know about it, but like I feel like in places like Spain where I live, a lot of people that I talk to have no clue what I'm talking about. So it really, I think it depends where you're at and all of that, you know. But I think it's gaining ground, definitely like on TikTok, YouTube, like on Instagram, like more. There's other creators doing similar things to what I'm doing, so definitely out there, but it is niche-y. It's niche-y, right?
That's fantastic, Easy. So now let's go back to the vision, right? So let's start with that vision. What does a dream vision or version, a dream version of aristocrat? I'm sorry, this name. I'm going to try to get it here. So what does a dream version of your astrocartography business look like in the next 3 to 6 months from now? Because like you said you just started this business, like you made it a business
about a year ago.
A year ago.
So fairly recent.
So what's the version of astrocartography within the next 3 to 6 months?
I would say, so I mostly work one-on-one with clients, and I think astrocartography really tells a story, right? Because we look at, you know, I always like to look at where did the person grow up? What does the astrocartography say about that location for them? Where have they lived prior? Where are they living now? And where are they planning to go in the future? And so I really look at it in a very holistic way, right? I look at it as that it tells a story. It tells our story and it explains a lot of things and experiences that we might have in different locations. And so I really just My version of it, I really want to, I want to bring people together. I want to kind of get more of a community going, and start having some in-person events, online events, and especially people in like, people who immigrate from one country to another, like especially, in Spain, there's a lot of, I don't really like this term, but like expats, and there's a lot of people like that. And so I really want to make more people aware of how they could use this like, magical type of astrology to really help themselves and help plan their goals and their lives and be more prepared energetically. Because just because a location is difficult doesn't mean that we can't go there or even can't live there, but it's nice to be prepared and have an idea, of what we might experience there and what a location could be good for versus what it might not be good for. And so that's pretty much my vision, to, just share this with more and more people who could really use it, who could really benefit from it,
You sound really passionate about this.
Yeah, I would say I am.
Wonder, like, how long have you been doing this? And what exactly inspired you to do this?
Yeah, so I've been, well, like I started with astrology, like general astrology first, which is pretty typical. I got really into astrology when I was about 18, so about like 13 years ago. A friend of mine showed me this app, like this horoscope app, and it was very generic, and I wanted to kind of understand astrology more. So I started buying books, going on the internet, doing my own research, taking courses eventually down the line. And that's how I got into general astrology. I've always been really into the kind of personality stuff, like, the personality tests as well. And there's different like systems that people use to talk about personality and different aspects of ourselves. And I've always been into even numerology and all of that. So I was naturally drawn to things that tell us about ourselves and human relationships and human behavior. Like, I probably should have studied psychology in university. I studied journalism, which is also pretty cool, but I'm so into the mind and the way people think and like the human experience and all of that. So I first got into astrology. I got into astrocartography a bit later, like I would say in my mid-20s, because so when in my early 20s, I traveled to Morocco. I studied abroad there. And it was my first time traveling alone, like without my friends, without my family. And I had like a magical time there. And then I went from Morocco to Spain, and I felt that same energy in Spain. And later on, I went to Portugal. And bear in mind, these countries are all kind of near each other, right? So I wanted to know energetically why I was so drawn to that part of the world. Because I had been to other countries and I liked them, or I didn't. There were some countries I visited that I didn't like, honestly. But I was so drawn to that specific area of the world, like Northwest Africa and like Southwestern Europe. And I kind of went on a search like online, like trying to figure out like what is the explanation behind this? Like, why am I drawn to these locations? And I kind of was looking into like the relationship to astrology. And that's when I came across astrocartography. And then it was like down a whole different like rabbit hole. And then I eventually moved to Spain. I kind of used astrocartography to plan my move to Spain and everything. So I mean, I honestly wish I knew more about it when I was even younger, but I guess I learned about it pretty early on, and I've been introducing it to more people, and especially clients, and as well as friends and family that I've worked with. They're very grateful that I introduced them to this, because it's really helped them. It's given them a whole new perspective and a whole new approach, right, to like where they live and where they travel to and where they might relocate to. And it shows them that, your experiences are not going to be the same everywhere. And I think that's so important, because we could often feel stuck in a place.
Yeah, actually.
And it's nice to know that, like, there's a whole world around like there's a whole world, and there's possibilities and stuff like that. So
which moves me to your biggest why. Of all things, I mean, you went to school, studied a particular course, and probably you had other things that you wanted to do, probably hobbies or other passions. But of all things, why did you choose astrocartography?
I guess because it's really interesting actually. So in university, we in the US, I'm from the US, but I live in Spain. I'm from New York. And in university, at my university, we had to take I think it was like a writing course, or a literature. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the professors all at this university put like a theme on the class. And the theme in my class was a sense of location, a sense of place. And we read a lot of books that by Ernest Hemingway, for example, that really examined the impact that location has on us. And I think back then I was only 19 years old. A seed planted in my head. I don't know how to explain it, but that class changed my perspective on life. And then it kind of inspired me to start traveling more. It inspired me to study abroad. I had always been curious about traveling stuff, but taking that class and just the professor's approach to it planted a seed in my head. It's hard to explain. I'm trying my best to explain it, but it planted a seed in my mind that location and different places, different cultures, that our experiences vary so much, and location becomes a huge part of our identity. I live in Spain. I've been here for 6 years, but I'm a New Yorker. I'll always be a New Yorker. My parents are from Italy. I'll always be that's my heritage. It's the locations, they all have different cultures and subcultures. And, I think I'm so fascinated by location, not just travel, but just the impact that places have on our lives and our identity. And I think that's something that really inspired me to start this. And also, aside from that, I love working with people one-on-one. I absolutely love it. I've also taught English privately to students, both online and in person, while being here in Spain. And I feel so comfortable working one-on-one. And I figured working as an astrologer and astrocartographer gives me the opportunity to talk about topics I love, like location and all of that, and gives me the opportunity to work one-on-one with clients who have very similar interests to me a lot of the time, because typically people who go for astrocartography readings already know a lot about astrology, not always, but usually. And also, I've also worked in journalism before, and I also write a newsletter, and I like that this profession allows me that I could write about it too. You know what I mean? It allows me to incorporate and utilize all the skills and passions that I have: writing, working one-on-one with clients, talking about location, talking about travel, even teaching. I feel like a teacher sometimes. I feel like a mentor, So it's allowed me to do all the things and incorporate all of my skills and passions and talents into one thing. And it kind of just fell into place. And I'd say it's still falling into place, because actually the first year of a business is hard. It's a lot of learning. It's a huge learning curve, and I'm still learning, and I think I'll always be learning and improving and stuff.
Fantastic. I mean, this is really big. What I'm seeing here is something that is really deep, and it has I see so many opportunities to make money from in this. A lot of opportunities to make good money from. I have encountered a lot of women who have online businesses who are struggling with the technical support of their businesses. And I mean, in one way or the other, I've tried my best to help them, set up that technical support. But then, we're going to get into that later on, but we're still on you, right? So let's talk about your income. First of all, I want to understand how you get your clients And also, do you struggle with nightmare clients? Do you know what nightmare clients are?
Like bad clients?
Yeah, bad clients that will stress
Say
you.
it straight up.
So what's that experience like? And how are you able to deal with it?
Honestly, thank God, like I have not had, like, with clients that I've actually worked with, that have, booked with me and everything, I have never had a negative experience. Ever.
Wow.
Never. But I will tell you about something that is similar to nightmare clients. I do offer free 30-minute calls for people to get to know me if they can't, because I do offer a range of services and packages that range greatly in price. I have cheaper services, medium price, very premium services, because I wanna cater to all types of people. Which some people may say is a mistake, but whatever. That's a discussion for a different day. Exactly. But I do offer these free 30-minute calls, and I'm not getting paid for them. I'm giving people my time, and I often stay on the call for more than 30 minutes, often 45 minutes or even an hour. And it is discouraging when you get on a call with those people and they don't book. And it happens, not a lot, but it happens. But the thing that's worse than that is when they book and they don't show up and they don't tell me anything. And they just ghost.
Ghost you.
Yeah, and I've had clients, like potential clients, not that actually ended up booking, like they miss their call, I attempt to reschedule, and then they want me to be available at an exact date and time when they missed my call, my free call that I'm giving them, and then they've gotten upset at me. So I'm like, I tried to be accommodating. I'm giving a free call. That's already being so accommodating. I'm giving you a second chance.
Actually,
you have to, try to be considerate. Try to understand. Like, try to meet me in the middle. Try to meet
compromise.
Compromise. That's the word. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. It's like there needs to be a compromise, because I'm offering this for free. You've already wasted my time. I'm giving another chance, and you're demanding low key, like you're demanding that I am available for you when you want, when I was available and you didn't come. And it takes a lot to run a business. Like,
actually, yeah.
And so that's that's the closest to I guess you could say a nightmare client that I've had. I have had maybe one or two clients that were fine, but they really, like, I say that my sessions are about 2 hours and they try to go over by like a whole hour, and ask a lot of questions and try to get me to bring the price down and stuff like that. And I do offer, payment plans. I've had clients who have said, hey, this is a rough month. Can I pay half this month, half the next? And I don't mind that, but asking me to lower the price. Would you go to a hairdresser and ask them to lower the price? No, I would never do that. Like, I just think that's rude. Yeah.
Actually,
I think payment plans are really good. I think it's fair. Not everybody has the money up front.
Of course, yeah.
And I have that empathy, but I don't like when they try to lower the prices. But nightmare clients, like really bad clients that have actually worked with me, honestly, like besides these incidents I've mentioned, nothing really. I've been quite lucky, I have to say, because a lot of my clients are referrals, and so they come from trusted sources, and so that's nice.
Easy. This is really good. Like, for the fact that this is cartography, so you're more or less like on the advantaged side, because you get to vibe, should I call it vibe, or sense the spiritual aspect of these things before you decide, right? And it's a good one. It has thrown you towards the luck direction to help you make less mistakes, and also help you make less bad decisions. Yeah. So now let's talk about your income. What do you want your income to look like?
Like numerically, like money wise?
Numerically, or like theoretically or literally?
I guess like, I live in Europe, I live in Spain, and like I feel like most of Europe has gotten really expensive. Not as bad as the USA or Canada yet, but it's expensive. So you need a lot of money to live here nowadays. It wasn't always like that, I don't think, but nowadays you need a lot of money. I'd like to look at, maybe 8,000, 10,000 euro a month.
Okay.
Which would be nice. That's a lot for here, and the taxes are quite high. So I guess I'm aiming for that amount before taxes. I don't know, because here the taxes are quite high in Spain, especially if you're self-employed. So yeah, I've never really been like a shoot for the stars person with money. I want to live comfortably and independent and just have, just full, I value having like full financial autonomy and well-being. I guess like some people really chase the money and wealth, and I think that's great. It's never really been in my personality, honestly. But I do want to be, really comfortable financially. That's my goal.
That's fantastic. And then how many clients would feel good and sustainable for you to work with, to have that?
Per week? Maybe like, that's hard because like all my services have different prices, right? So I recently introduced packages, which they are more expensive, but they offer more, right? There's more services that come within that package. And I'm kind of trying to transition a bit more to working with packages because it seems to be a more sustainable model. So if I could get, let's say, 11, 12 clients per month who book these packages,
okay,
that would be really great. But I've just launched them, so I have to get there first.
Yeah, it's achievable. It's actually achievable, depending
I think so.
Depending on your business positioning. Your business positioning is very important. And like I said earlier, this is something that I know is very promising. I see a lot of green light in this, and it's something that will give you premium clients and give you consistent, high-paying income for you. So it's something that can be worked on. It's not too late. For the fact that it is new, like the business is just a year old or probably a few months old, is something that can still be worked on, right? Yeah. Now, I want to ask you this. How many premium clients are you bringing in per month right now?
It really varies. Sometimes I'd say maybe about 10 premium clients, between 5 and 10 premium, and then the rest book like my lower end services. Yeah.
And how confident are you? How confident are you in your offers and messaging right now?
In my offers, I'm very confident. I feel like I'm getting the hang of the marketing. The thing is, like, I really feel like, hear me out, like I feel like Instagram and these reels and these new trendy kind of things don't really resonate with me and my business. And it's interesting because I've invested in some courses for marketing and social media marketing, and it's not resonating with me, like Instagram as a platform anymore. I'm really trying to build my clientele more through my writing, by my blog, my Substack, my weekly newsletter. I want to really, like, I feel like I know I'm very good at writing, and I articulate my ideas better in long form content. So I really want to pivot to YouTube and just do YouTube and Substack and sometimes TikTok, but I'm disgusted by Instagram. I hate it. I hate what it's become.
Are you serious?
No, I can't stand it. The videos with like people drinking a coffee and text, and I'm like, what? It just gives me nothing. It gives me nothing. I sound mean, I know, but I'm very brutally honest person, and I feel like what I do, like astrophotography, it's so much deeper than that. Like, I feel like there's I don't know. I don't like having to make 7-second videos, and to me, like, this is such an in-depth thing, and I feel like hear me out. I think that kind of content might become more popular again, because I think people are fed up with like the tidbits, like the clickbait and all of that. And I want to put my like heart and soul and my mind into this. And on Instagram, I do like the infographics, like the carousels, but the reels, like, I just the types that get popular, the types that like are trending, I don't know. Do you get what I mean?
You seriously sound like a Cancer or a Taurus, like more or less like a Cancer. Are you a Cancer?
I'm a Scorpio, so yeah.
Scorpio! Wow.
Yeah,
wow. Sensitive.
I don't know. I don't like that kind of content, and I guess I'm having trouble like making that move from Instagram to like all like. I mean, I've been on Substack for like several months, but I really want to get on YouTube because I like long form content. I'm old school. That's how I learned about astrology, like through more long form, and I want people to understand it like deeply, So yeah, I just don't.
That's really great. Easy.
I just don't like the Instagram these days. I
mean, the
not
noise,
really working for me.
The noise on Instagram is too much. Like,
it's so ridiculous. I'm checked out. I've like checked out. I'm over it.
I feel like sometimes you get lightheaded when you're there. Like, you hardly even go on Instagram. And then when you finally decide to go on Instagram and you're scrolling up and down there, you get lightheaded, do you?
Yeah, and there's just like a lot of shadiness, like the whole thing of the people following you and then unfollowing you right away. It's just why? What? Like, why? Like, it's just a bad energy platform, honestly. Like, it doesn't nourish me at all anymore.
No, so let's go a little down for a moment now. So if nothing changes in the next 3 to 6 months in your business, what's at risk actually?
I mean, I think things are going in a really good direction, so I'm not worried. But I don't know. I mean, I guess just like I said, like life in Europe has become in Madrid, where I am, like, has become really expensive. So I wouldn't be able to enjoy life as much,
So, are you okay with looking back a year from now and still like the structure, the technical aspect you complained about, the fact that you're struggling technically, that's the technical support now. Looking back a year from now, are you still not, and still not having the structure, the income you desire, or the visibility you have? Are you okay with that?
No, I would be disappointed. I think I've progressed a lot from when I started. And I want to keep progressing, like, I cannot even accept like failure as an option. No way.
So growth is very important to you. Expansion.
Yeah, growth, expansion. I mean, obviously, like, nothing crazy. Like, I'm not over here saying like, oh, I'm gonna make $100,000 a month. Like, I'm realistic, but I also know that, like, like, for example, I already noticed, like, when, with the whole thing with the affiliate link yesterday, 1 year ago, I would have just said, screw this. I would have given up. I would have said, forget this. But now I've developed more of like a learner mindset, and I've become more patient. So I'm trying to like, I do have Capricorn rising, so I hate asking for help.
Actually,
and I'm trying to get better at like asking people for help and like using my resources and because I don't know, I guess I hate feeling like I'm bothering people, but I know that sometimes it's like natural we have to ask for help, So yeah, failure not an option.
Yeah, so let's reflect on something right now. What you're offering right now, I mean, this is something that everybody needs.
Well,
This
yeah,
is what
everybody
needs, right?
Yeah.
You are solving a huge problem, and solving huge problems means making huge money. If you can solve bigger problems, it means you should be making bigger money, right?
Yeah.
So, is this something you would like us to do together?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. I'm open to learning about it.
Okay, so now this is it. For your business, right? This is something that, like I said, everybody needs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, there is a way you position your business to attract clients that will pay you well. So this is not a business to charge $5,000 for your package. It's something that you can charge $10,000 for your package. And then you attract people that will buy $10,000, $20,000 for your package, right? And something like this is not for everybody. Everybody cannot afford to pay $20,000.
No, definitely not.
But what if you have 10 or let's say between 5 to 10 serious premium clients that would like to pay you between $20,000 to $30,000 for what you offer? Now, that you do not need a bunch of clients. When you have a reasonable amount of clients that you can work with, you are not burnt out, you are not stressed up, you're making more money with less people, right?
Yeah, it's better.
You don't need so much clients in your hand that's going to take away your entire day, take away your time. You barely rest. You barely have time for yourself. Like, you're going to have more time for yourself. You're going to be able to deliver more. You're going to be more effective with your delivery because you're not working with so many people. You do not need a bunch of clients. You don't need so many. You just need a few. Now, if you have, there is a way you can package your offers to a point of charging as much as $50,000 for that offer. Is going to be so good to attract, even especially when it comes to in-person events. You can charge that. You can also have a subscription offer that continuously gives you money, right? So you have people that will subscribe to a particular offer of yours that brings in that consistent money, like on a monthly basis or probably quarterly basis, depending on how you want your subscriptions to run and all that. So this has, what I see here is multiple streams of income that you can make, and you don't need to sweat much. You don't need to do so much about. As a matter of fact, you don't even need Instagram posting. Yeah. There is a way we're going to position this business in a way that where the premium clients are, that is where we direct your message into. Yeah. You speak the language they understand. There are places you find premium clients and there are places you do not find premium clients. Yeah. So we are going to work on that. And is this something that you would really love to do? Like, you would really like to be part of?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to learn more about it, for sure. I'd like to learn more. Like I said, I have the service exchange about getting the system set up, but the other stuff sounds like could be pretty useful and applicable. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, one thing I love about you is that you have identified your core. And when they mention Isabel, it is astrocartography, which is perfect. Like, you have streamlined your business. You have niched down, right? And this is very, very good. Very good. It's been an awesome time with Isabel Barrera. She has been an amazing astrologer and astrocartographer. As a matter of fact, I really enjoyed this session with you. It was fun talking to you, knowing more about your business, knowing more about astrocartography, especially for people out there who know nothing about astrocartography. If you're watching this right now, I want you to think about it. Do you think you need astrocartography? You need astrology? Everybody needs it because, yeah, definitely, because it's gonna save us a lot of headache. We're making wrong decisions, bad decisions, and taking us to places where we get stuck and we struggle to move on in life. You find yourself in places where you struggle financially, you struggle business-wise. I mean, astrocartography is the way to boycott such misery, such emotional and financial stress. So if you're out there and you do not know much about astrocartography, you need to know more about it. You can reach out to Isabel Guerrera through her email. You could write her an email. The email address is on your screen and her website is on your screen. So you reach out to her on the website. You can contact her, send her a message through her website. That's www.yourstellartruth.astrology.com. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the email address is isabelgwriter@gmail.com. And it's important you reach out to her, patronize her. If you are in Spain, you're watching this right now, in New York, in America, Canada, she is very reachable. You can meet her in person. You can have her virtually, have her read out your charts. It's very important to know those things that are hidden in secret, so it can help you make better decisions, informed decisions about your life, about your finances, about your love life, your relationship, your family. I mean, it revolves around existence. So it's important you do this. She has fantastic offers that will drive you insane, that will transform your business or transform your life, your finances, your relationships, right? So don't forget to contact Isabel. Thank you so much, Izzy, for for being part of this podcast. I love you so much. And I wish you all the best. So we're going to hear more from you, right?
Yes.
All right. Have a pleasant day. God bless you. And thank you so much for joining us on this podcast.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Yeah, bye.